Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Really appreciate you joining us on the webinar for accelerating SASE deployment at scale with Warsaw and Zscaler Internet Access Integration. We'll give everybody a minute more to join in. You might see my name popping up on the screen as Diane, but I'm not Diane. I'm Gopal Bhagia. I head the channel marketing here at Warsaw. Unfortunately, Diane is not able to join us today, so I'm just filling in for her for now. And with me, I have Rajesh Kari. He is our Director for Product Marketing and will be the one who will be driving us through the session today. All right, Rajesh, it's all yours.
All right, I think we are on time. Thank you, Gopal, for the introduction and welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or even good evening, depending on where you're logging in from. This is Rajesh. I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at Versa. And today I'm super excited to share our one of the most important integration that we have done in order to help our customers and partners and channels such as yourself to accelerate SASE deployments. As you know, SASE has been a key ask from several industries and verticals. So we want to help anyone who is looking to accelerate this strategy and deployment. Without further delay, I will jump into this presentation and um, Gopal, I don't know if the Q&A session is saved for the end of the session or people are allowed to interact and ask questions live. Uh, do let me know how this works.
It's totally up to you, Rajesh. If you want to take Q&A during the presentation, feel free to do so. If not, then we have time in the end for Q&A.
All right. I'm open to both. So this is what I am suggesting. So if people are able to come out of mute and bring their questions as and when, I'm happy to answer them. And any questions we don't have immediate responses, we will always take that into account and respond to you offline or send you the right material to reference. Thanks, Gopal. So what are we looking at? We are talking about a SASE deployment. And I know that in the industry, everyone talks about a single vendor SASE, having the same management console, the policies and constructs and deployment ease. While that's absolutely true, in reality, there are a lot of deployments where customers have chosen their preferred SD-WAN vendors and SSE vendors, right? That's the reality. So what are we doing to help them in case of if they already have a Versa SD-WAN deployment or a Zscaler SD-WAN deployment? With any other SD-WAN solution, the challenges would be they have to do a manual onboarding to Zscaler ZIA, which means they have to bring up the IPsec tunnels manually, manage them, provision them, and also um, customize their application policies and prioritization for these tunnels. It results in poor resiliency. Are they able to fail over? Are they able to use redundancy properly for their SD-WAN solution? The answer is no. At the same time, it also creates security gaps. If you have to do everything manual, there's a limitation on what applications that you think that needs to be secured using SSE that can be routed to the SSE solution itself. Well, again, in terms of deployment, that's what we are focusing on here, right? How to accelerate those deployments. Any manual operations is going to just slow down any policies, tunnel bring up, provisioning at scale. So we want to help you overcome these concerns and limitations with this integration. Well, that brings us to the question, why integrate Versa SD-WAN with Zscaler? Well, I'm not going to deny that we do compete in the same space. Zscaler has its SSE solution, while Versa has its SASE solution. But as I said, it's not about a single vendor SASE. It's about helping people who have a multi-vendor or a dual vendor SASE solution. That's exactly what we are trying to do. Helping existing Zscaler customers roll out Versa SD-WAN. if you have a Zscaler deployment, if your customers have a Zscaler deployment, what would be the ideal SD-WAN solution? Of course, people do know the strengths of Versa SD-WAN solutions, right? But when it comes to deciding between different vendors, now it makes the choice easier. Is there a existing integration with Zscaler? Absolutely. We are also going to look into the details of what the integration means and how we have uniquely done it to simplify these deployments in the future slides. But yes, the answer is yes, we can help existing Zscaler customers rolling out any a new SD-WAN solution, and Versa can be the obvious choice. But now for existing SD-WAN, Versa SD-WAN solution, if they are looking for an SSE, yes, we do have our own SSE solution. But for anyone who is looking at Zscaler, because they have existing relationship with Zscaler on a business front, or they have already validated, they are in the renewal cycles, the obvious choice is how can we again bring in the tunnels and scale them across all the thousands of sites, right? We can help there as well. So these are two customer bases or install bases that we can obviously help out with this integration. Now, why is this integration helpful, unique, and also simplified? It's because it's completely API driven, which means it's a native integration. It's not like, we are going to build another IPsec tunnel on top of it. But instead, we are simplifying all these manual connectivity to the ZIA of your choice. But also, we are providing the aggregation of traffic to dedicated Zscaler. So the Zscaler or the ZIA POPs of your choice can also now get aggregated traffic from the branches. And we can do it based on IPsec or GRE tunnels. Now, dual tunnel redundancy. Why is it required? We are talking about SD-WAN. We are talking about SSE connectivity. What uses this without having a redundancy option? We provide that redundancy by not just enabling you to connect to one ZIA POP, but more than one, two ZIA POPs. And that's also of your choice. And those are chosen as primary and secondary. So in any case, if there is a connectivity issue to the primary Zscaler POP or ZIA POP, then we will automatically switch over to the secondary connectivity. So you do have sub-second switchover. You have that seamless connectivity. Users don't even realize that the one of the connectivity has gone down or underperforming. The same time, you still have the connectivity, but also the inspection and the security assurance from Zscaler SSE. That's exactly what the objective is, right? Regardless of if your connectivity fails or not, you still need the security to happen. Now we have simplified it and made it very seamless in just a couple of steps how this integration works, because we have created a template which will allow you to define the connectors, define the ZIA servers that you need to connect to, and also all the tunnel parameters. You do it once in a couple of UI workflows. That's it. You're going to now provision them at scale across your thousands of sites. And of course, we provide you the ability to customize the ZIA POPs, right? We will select the ZIA POPs based on the SLAs, based on the best connectivity and performance, but it's up to you to choose those portals as well. And that's how we make this integration happen in a very native way, but also in a very simplified workflow. Any questions so far? I can pause and wait for any questions. Any questions on the chat, Gopal, that I'm missing here?
No questions on the chat.
Perfect. Thank you. So yes, we talked about the redundancy, but ultimately we provide that always on connectivity, right? So the dual tunnels to primary and the secondary ZIA POPs. Obviously, the ZIA POPs are also chosen based on SLAs, performance, locations. but we also have ability of doing active-active or active standby mode. This is very important. Why? Are we only doing primary and secondary? If one fails, we want to switch over to the other link? No. As I said, we can also aggregate. We can also load balance. So that is very important. If you have connectivity to multiple Zscaler ZIA POPs, you will be able to send your application traffic or distribute your application traffic across these two tunnels. Why is it significant? Now you are not facing any bandwidth bottleneck whatsoever because you have decided to load balance between two existing IPsec or GRE tunnels. So the redundant HA appliance also makes a significant impact here because as you know, we also have HA deployments. We provide dual appliances within the branches. So now from both these appliances, you can have redundant connectivity to multiple ZIA locations. So now even one device fails, you have the other device taking over and providing the connectivity to ZIA. But even among these, you can have multiple tunnels leading up to those ZIA locations. So it's like multi-level redundancy provided using those HA appliances, right? And as usual, we also provide the cross connect that ensures seamless traffic handoff. That cross connect is between the HA appliances. So one fails, the other one automatically takes over. It's all controlled by VRRP. So you don't have to worry about when the appliances went down or it's underperforming or the link down happens, right? So it's the automatic switchover is not only at the link level, but also at the device level and at the application level. As I said, this is not just a native integration. Anyone can do a native integration when the APIs are shared and exposed, but we have done it in a very simplified way. And it's also very intuitive. Why? Because our CMS connector is just a very generic workflow which is designed for any kind of integration. Our Microsoft integration was done using the CMS connector, our CrowdStrike. So this is the same framework we are using across every single technology partner as well as cloud provider. And why is it so significant? Because as you see, the entries are so obvious. You can easily define what the name of the CMS is and what the Zscaler locations are and also the API keys. Once you're done, now you can also define your split tunnels, right? You can choose your tunnels, you can choose your ZIA locations, and you can also have the customization of whether you want site-to-site tunnels or aggregated or load balance tunnels. Now, once you have done that, you can also define the mode. If you remember, we talked about having the active-active and the active standby connectivity. It's totally up to you if you want to define it as an active-active or active standby. A lot of our customers go with active-active because they do know that there's a high chances of load balancing that could be required based on the application traffic. But the good news is, even in the active-active situation, when one of the tunnel goes down to ZIA, we will obviously use the other tunnel for all traffic forwarding. So your application forwarding and your performance never goes down. Even if you decide to go on active-active, we will help you prioritize and we will also help you place all the application traffic on the standby tunnels. Yes, there may be a slight downgrade of the application performance because you're trying to now reroute all the application traffic into one tunnel, but that is it's very significantly low, right? But that being said, when the other tunnel comes up, we will obviously go back to the original designed policies by you of active-active routing, right? So that's the beauty of this integration. Now, again, as I said, active-active or active standby mode, it's all about toggling a button, selecting a few clicks, and that's it. You'll be done. Once this is done, you will all you say is just provision. You will provision to one site or thousands of sites with the same configurations, and you can define which ZIA POPs you want to connect to, and that's it. Your entire SASE deployment is now up and running. All right. I will again pause for a couple of seconds to see if we got any questions on just the deployment uh, workflow. No questions, I assume, Gopal?
No questions.
Perfect. So we went through the workflow. Maybe I should have had this slide ahead of all the workflow, the UI slides, but it also acts as a good reiteration of what we talked about, right? Using this workflow and the integration, what are we doing? We are automatically discovering the ZIA POPs for you. We are creating those locations within your SD-WAN profiles to which you want to connect to. We are configuring the VPNs for you, and we are also provisioning and pushing those tunnels. In addition to that, we also have the HA cross-connect handling and the default route and SD-WAN policies. So once you have established the tunnels to more than one or dual ZIA POPs from your SD-WAN branches, you also have the HA redundancy happening at the appliance level and the SD-WAN redundancy happening at the link level. You also have policy level control on where you want to send which applications to these POPs. All right. And the next slide is obviously who benefits. I will also take some input from Gopal. Gopal, I was only focused on the ICPs for this particular slide, but if you want to add anything, I will definitely encourage you to do that. But looking at the ICPs and the personas who will immediately benefit from this integration is infrastructure managers who are looking to cut down time of these deployments, network architects who are looking for easier ways to go and define those workflows, right? And then also provision them at scale without anything breaking. CIOs, of course, they have a SASE strategy. Now they want that to happen at a better timeline, lower downtime without any rip and replace that's happening in their infrastructure. Most importantly, now we are talking about Zscaler integration. Let's not forget about CISOs and security engineers. They define the security policies. They know exactly which POP to connect to. So they provide the input to the infrastructure managers and architects and CIOs who have to take that into consideration and decide on what POPs works well for them. But obviously, we are also going to help them choosing those POPs automatically based on location, based on SLAs, and connect to them. So these are the personas that should be really benefiting out of this integration, but also a good target for any conversations. Well, to summarize, before I pass on the ball to Gopal, what we talked about in terms of this integration on accelerating SASE deployment, the different elements that went into the integration itself, and how the workflow was simplified and made automatic. End of the day, we want every single customer with a dual vendor SASE strategy to experience this. They will have a faster connectivity because they are now able to use their existing links to connect to ZIA. They'll have reduced complexity. Obviously, we talked about all the automated workflows and the simplified nature of it that eliminates any configuration errors at scale. Improved resilience, active standby, HA redundancy, and also application level failover that can happen from our SD-WAN intelligence, and also self-healing network. We just don't provide all these connectivity and your failover, but we can also do a lot of AI-driven decision making because we often measure the SLAs. We constantly make remediation steps based on the SLA degradation. We also have WAN optimization techniques, and we also have failover techniques. So the end of this deployment with this integration, customers can enjoy better connectivity, faster connectivity to their ZIA and to their applications at reduced complexity, which means a seamless, simplified deployment. They can ensure their networks are resilient and also self-healing. I'll pause for a couple of seconds for any questions. and then I'll pass the ball to Gopal to go over some of the content for our channel. Gopal, take it away.
Okay.
If we don't have any questions.
Well, thank you, Rajesh. So this brings two state-of-art technologies together, providing a full resiliency around any threat landscape from your network all the way to cloud and application layer. So I'm pretty sure most of our partners are dealing that, hey, I have a Zscaler. How can I integrate that with Warsa's best SD-WAN? Here you go. We have a full integration now. You guys can build a package for your own infrastructure to use it and sell it as a service, or sell a full package to the end customer and give them the best of both worlds. Just a refresher on next few slides. And Rajesh, if you don't mind driving the slides, I really appreciate it. So this is where we will be hosting. So our partner portal, XAmplify, we'll be hosting all the content over there. This video recording will also be put over there, plus the customer slides, solution brief, deployment guide, blogs, anything and everything you need to learn more about this integration will be available in XAmplify within the next 24 to 48 hours. Regardless of whether this will be available or not, Rajesh and I are always available for any queries. Please email us. We will be sharing the details and the recording of the call with all of you guys. So feel free to respond and let us know if you have any questions. If you have any use case that you guys want to discuss with us, we are available for that as well. We can pull in our solution architect or solution engineers to help you discuss any use case or any case study that you want to have consultation for. We'll be more than happy to discuss those. Next slide, please. As you know, this is again a refresher. XAmplify is our tool. If you have any deals, please use our partner portal to register the deals. And in order to engage with us or any other technology that Warsaw offers, everything is available in XAmplify, and you guys can get that through the portal over there. If you're not able to find anything, as I said earlier, we are available at your service. So let us know and we'll be more than happy to share the details. Next slide, please. This is a lead deal registration portal. In length, you can see this is where you will go and register the upcoming deals. You need to register yourself. Most of you are already registered. That's the reason you're invited to this meeting. But please leverage our education portal on XAmplify on how to register the deals. And if you have any issues or any access problems, reach out to us. Next slide. There you go. Our goal is to enable you and help you to do your job better. Any problems or any hurdles you have from technical perspective, from deal registration, pricing, campaigns, go to market, our marketing team is available. We have a full-blown marketing service. No price. We'll be more than happy to provide that services to you for any consultation and any go-to-market strategy. Well, with that being said, I don't see any other questions. Rajesh, thank you for walking us through the slides and the integration path. I will keep a watch for if there are any questions coming via email or any queries post-on-demand webinar is shared. Thank you so much again for running the show.
Thanks, everyone.